Hi everyone, welcome to the lesson on error handlers. In the first module of this lesson, I will go over the fundamentals of error handling and show you how to use error handlers in your scenarios. In the subsequent modules, I will explain in detail the various directives for error handling. I'm going to start with a simple scenario here, which begins with a Google Sheet Watch a Worksheet module, followed by the Add a Row module. So every time the first worksheet receives fresh data, a new row is added to another Google Sheet. Now, during the scenario execution, either of these modules might encounter an error due to various reasons. Let me simulate an error by running the scenario once. As you can see, the Add a Row module encountered an error. And if you click this bubble, you can see the error type, which in this case is data error. By default, the scenario execution stops and a rollback phase is started on all modules to revert them all to their initial state. But you can also handle errors automatically using error handler routes and letting Integromat know what you'd like to do when an error takes place. Let's say you want to handle various types of errors like a data error, connection error, module timeout error, etc. that are encountered by the Add a Row module. To do that, you'd right-click on the module and click on Add Error Handler. Here you will see various directives that can be assigned to this particular error handler route. Each directive enables you to handle errors differently. However, instead of assigning one of the directives, you may choose to add another module altogether. So before I proceed, let me explain why I keep saying error handler routes and not just error handlers. When you add an error handler to a particular module, you're actually adding an error handler route, to which you may add a directive, or one or more modules followed by a directive. Also, you will notice that error handler route consists of transparent bubbles as opposed to the regular solid ones. But going back to the scenario, as you can see, I've added an error handler route to the Add a Row module. But instead of choosing a directive, I've added the Select Rows module followed by an Update a Row module. It's important to remember that when you add a module instead of a directive, the Ignore directive is applied by default in case of an error and the subsequent modules are executed. In other words, when a module encounters an error and its error handler route contains one or more modules, the Ignore directive is applied by default, essentially ignoring the error and processing all the modules on the error handler route. Hence, if the Add a Row module encounters an error, it will be ignored and the modules on the error handler route will be executed. I will cover the Ignore directive in detail in a separate video. Now let me run this scenario once to simulate the error. As you can see, the scenario ran successfully. But if we look at the Add a Row module's output, we can see that a data error took place, but was handled automatically, and the modules on the error handler route were executed. This concludes the basics of error handling. Before you proceed to the next video, I encourage you to go through the various directives for error handling. For a brief definition, you may refer to the article titled Introduction to Error Handling on the Help Center and scroll down to the bottom. To learn more about the directives in detail, please take a look at the article titled Directives for Error Handling. In the next module of this lesson, I will cover the break directive in detail. See you there!